Gender equality remains one of the most critical challenges in world politics today, symbolized by the UN's fifth Sustainable Development Goal. Women in leadership positions are still vastly outnumbered by men across the globe. Only 26 countries have female heads of state, just 9 have cabinets with at least half women, and merely 6 achieve this in their legislatures. Two key tools help us track progress toward gender equality worldwide. The Women's Power Index ranks all 193 UN countries based on female representation in government at every level. The global average score sits at just 29 out of 100, with only 28 countries managing to pass the halfway mark. Iceland leads the rankings at 86, followed by Mexico at 75 and Andorra at 73. While 82 countries have elected women leaders over 25 years, momentum has actually slowed in the past year. The UN's Sustainable Development Goal 5 calls for gender equality, women's empowerment, and equal participation in all leadership roles. Women hold about 27% of parliament seats, 36% of local government positions, and just 30% of managerial roles. At the current pace, we won't reach managerial equality until 2199. That's 176 years away, well beyond any of our lifetimes. While some progress has been made, we're nowhere near meeting the ambitious 2030 deadline. This chart reveals the stark gaps in women's representation, with some categories as low as 6.5%. Gender inequality extends far beyond elected office into peace negotiations, peacekeeping, and economic participation. Women's participation in UN peace talks actually dropped from 23% in 2020 to just 16% in 2022. In peacekeeping missions, women make up only 6.5% of military personnel and 16% of police forces. Even top-ranked countries like Australia fall short on economic equality, with gaps in equal pay and protection from violence. So why has progress been so frustratingly slow despite decades of effort? Outdated laws create major barriers, with 61 states restricting women's employment, only 63 having consent-based rape laws, and just 38 guaranteeing a minimum marriage age of 18. Even where good policies exist, weak enforcement undermines their effectiveness, leaving quotas symbolic rather than transformative. Making matters worse, a quarter of UN countries reported women's rights actually getting worse in 2024. The UN's own gender equality plan remains underfunded and weakly implemented, making leadership more talk than action. With just 5 years left, can we still meet the 2030 deadline? Unfortunately, no country is currently on track to achieve true gender parity by 2030. But there's still hope. Legal reforms, government accountability, and enforced quotas have proven effective where they've been seriously applied. The 2025 Commission Declaration calls for ending violence against women, closing digital and care work gaps, engaging men as allies, and nominating women for top UN positions. What strategies actually work when implemented with real commitment? First, eliminate discriminatory laws and make equality a legal requirement, not just an aspiration. Second, back gender quotas with real penalties and independent oversight to ensure meaningful change. Third, address the care work imbalance through universal childcare, paid parental leave, and encouraging men's equal participation at home. Fourth, strengthen UN Women with more funding and a stronger mandate to drive system-wide change. Finally, engage the private sector with parity benchmarks while supporting grassroots efforts and bringing men into the conversation. With sustained political will, gender parity by mid-century is achievable. Without it, inequality will hold us back for generations. So where do we stand and what must happen next? The data is clear. Women's political representation has stalled, with equality projected for 2199, a timeline that's simply unacceptable. Women in leadership aren't just about balancing numbers. Diverse leadership creates better decisions and stronger societies. Achieving gender equality requires genuine political will and persistent enforcement, not just promises. If we fail, we might reach 2100 with half of the world's population still excluded from leadership, a choice that is simply unacceptable.